MashaAllah, what a great week we've had. And today's topic, I'm your host Imran Zaidi, and this is our show, Future Stars. Today's topic is going to be on morals and character. One of the most important parts of growing up is morals and character. You might hear your teachers at school tell you that you want to grow up to have good morals and a good character. You might hear your parents say that you want to grow up and the only way you have a good life is you live by good morals and have a good character. But many children ask, what is good morals and what are a good character? So in this discussion today, I hope to make everything a bit easier for you when you want to understand what morals and character are. But before we start off, I'd just like to say we're going to just pass it on to Brother Qasim for a few seconds, who's going to read us a nice surah to start off the day.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
MashaAllah, thank you very much, Brother Qasim. And this show is a call-in show, so you can call in and you can give us any answers or any discussions or anything you'd like to add in. The number will be on the screen, so please just feel free to call in. If you want to give us a beautiful surah like Brother Qasim just did, whether it be Surah Ikhlas or Surah Al-Kawthar, anything, even if it doesn't have to be the whole surah, it can just be the first 2 lines if you want. But please call in and just add it in, and we'll love to hear it, because we always love to hear anything a future star might want to say. So back to today's topic on morals and character. Brother Qasim, how would you define a moral and what would you define as a character?
A moral is something that teaches you a lesson in a way. So you learn something from it as well. So at the end of everything, like a story, you'll have a moral. So and a character is how you behave and how you act. No.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure that I think a character is how someone behaves naturally. So for instance, you have some people who behave with a bad temper sometimes, very naturally, it just comes to them. Someone says something bad to them and they're off. You know, they're angry, they're shouting, they're throwing stuff around. Some people have a different physical makeup that they don't act so angry. They're not so sensitive, they're not so touchy all the time. You know, they're patient, they can take a criticism, you know. And sometimes it's not a bad thing to not be able to take a criticism. But most of the time it is, because then you can't really get far in life, can you? So, with like a character, it's what you are in essence, it's what your soul sort of is. It's also your habits, because if you continually repeat certain acts, then like it leads to something coming out with like your certain character. So like one of your habits, for instance, it's not a good one, but it might be lying all the time. So if you keep lying and lying and lying, people are going to start associating your character as a liar. You're a liar, you know. And practice and conscious effort, you know, if you're practicing lying, you know, sooner or later it's going to become your character, for instance. Obviously, and it's bad morale, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even though that the physical makeup of someone is an individual process, certain characters in us are no means true that man has no choice to matter completely. He is stuck to his character. Do you think that's really true?
Well, it is. It's true and it's not true, because a man whose character, and if they show how they act, then it will just give you an idea. Wait a minute, I think I can assess a man how he's acting.
I mean, one of the great importance of to be mindful is that character and morals form an important component of our religion in Islam and our iman, which means faith in Arabic. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about these in the Holy Quran, where He says, and my servants that they speak, which is the best, which is in Surah 17, ayat 53. Worship Allah and do not associate partners with Him, and be good to your parents and relatives and to the orphans and to the poor people and the neighbor that is close to you, the neighbor that is not close to you, and your companion on the journey. So really what that little ayat is saying to you is that you should be good to anybody, everybody, whether they're poor, they're rich, they're family, they're not family. you should look after these people, who, no matter who they are, really. Because I think that's something that quite a lot of us don't tend to do nowadays. You know, we see a stranger and we go, oh, his life doesn't really concern me, what's the point? I mean, surely some of us would be good enough to help. You know, if we saw like a poor man dying on the street, we'd call 999 or call, you know, and we'd get an ambulance to come and help him. And if we really knew what hospital he's being taken to, maybe we'd go see him and ask him, how are you doing? You know, some people have it in them, but some people don't have it in them. Why do you think perhaps that some people don't have it in them to like help their fellow human being?
Because sometimes people can be greedy, and sometimes people just don't care, but in their heart there's always a little part that says, I know, I can help them and I will help them, but it's just how they're so greedy and they just they think about themselves.
True. I mean, it's not just Islam that is teaching, you know, just be good to everybody. I mean, lots of other religions say this. It's actually like a moral, it's a human moral, you know, that you've got to look after everybody because that's the way you want to be treated. I remember at school, my teachers telling me that, like, this is on the first day of term, and they told us, you're all new and you're all a bit nervous about today. So if you just abide by one rule throughout your whole school life, then it shouldn't be too hard. And I think that rule is treat people how you want to be treated. So if you're in difficulty, you know, and someone's helping you, then really you should help someone who's in difficulty. Because treat someone how you would like to be treated. So if you want to be treated nicely, you know, you want someone to like be polite to you, don't want them to be rude, pushing you, shoving you, you know, then that does not mean that you can go around pushing and shoving other people, because you've got to be treated how you want to be treated. And that's the only way to really build up a good character, by understanding everybody else, you know, not just your close family, but everybody else who is important to you. But sometimes people abstain from that way of life. They don't want to do that. They just want to get what's in it for them. And Allah speaks to these people in the Holy Quran, and the Holy Prophet says, so, surely most of you are on a bad morality. Basically, you're on a bad standard of character, because you're not looking after anybody else, you're not looking after your own family, you're just in it for you, you know. What do you think will happen to these people in the hereafter, like in heaven or hell or whatever, if they just look after themselves and their morals just about them and no one else?
But I can assure you that Allah wouldn't be very happy. It's up to Allah, actually. Because if you don't care about others, it can also not benefit from you. But if you look after others, then it can also help you in your hereafter, because all your good deeds can add up. And if you do something bad, Allah will say, yes, just wait a minute, let me just give him one chance. But if you do something right, Allah can time that, and he'll straight away say, that's one of your sawabs.
Obviously, I've already told us what one of our morals are, is that treat other people how you like to be treated. Do you think perhaps there are any other morals?
There's some morals which say greed. Sometimes the smallest problems can fix the most largest life decisions.
True. I think you have a story about greed,
yep,
or perhaps like laziness, on how your morals are.
My story today is on a boy from a rich family. One boy who was from a rich family was a very lazy boy, and his father wanted him to work. So his father decided and said, son, go out and earn some money today, because I want you to go out and have a job. So the son was really worried because he hadn't worked in his life. So he went to his mother and said, Dad said this to me, so now what do I do? I need to earn a job, but I don't have one. So his mother said, keep this gold coin and go out and have fun. So he listened to his mother, he kept the gold coin, I went out, had fun, and came back. When he came back, he met his father. His father said, what have you earned from me today, and how was it? So the boy produced the gold coin, and his father said, get this coin and throw it in the well. So the boy did as he was told. The second day, he was told by his father to go out and work and earn something. So this time he went to his sister. So his sister gave him a silver coin, and she said, have fun, but remember, this time try and get a job. So he went out, had fun, came back and met his dad. So his dad said, what have you earned today? He produced a silver coin, and his father then said, get this coin and throw it in the well. So he did. The third day, he had no one to turn to because he's told all of his family members asked them for money. So this time he went out, looked for a job, but it was really hard for him. Finally, he came across a man and said, I need a job, could you give me one? So the man said to pick up these heavy loads and lift them to the truck. So he did, and at the end he got a few coins, few pennies. So when he came home and his father was there, he asked, what have you got today? So the boy produced a few pennies, and his father said, throw this in the well. But the boy was reluctant with his money, and his father then straight away knew that the money he had earned today was actually the money he had worked for, and the rest of the days he had taken it from family members. The moral of this story is, even the most smallest things you do can change your life.
I mean, that's a great moral, because like morals, they're not just morals about human behavior, but morals come with stories. So it's like, what is the meaning, the interpretations, you might want to say, for like morals. But then with character, what was that boy's character?
This boy's character was laziness, and he didn't really want to work.